So after the stream, you guys chatted about it and thought that it was something bigger than it previously was?
Yeah, just wait a second. Let me explain here, okay?
You know, and you knew how this would be interpreted when you tweeted it out. So
I
why?
should have known. I should have known. Even if I thought that he was fucking with me, I still shouldn't have tweeted.
If I could give just a little bit of advice, it feels like, at least to me, that hey, hold on. So wait, let me get this straight. So the events happened on stream. Nobody thought anything of it really at the time, except for Chud, who said something.
Yeah.
So it was acknowledged, but nobody really thought it was that bad.
Yeah,
After the
I just thought
stream,
it was another thing, and then
yeah.
and then
I
what
don't-
happened?
Oh wait,
what happened?
So after the stream, you guys chatted about it and thought that it was something bigger than it previously was.
No.
And then
No, this was a while ago, right?
Cherry on the stream made a comment about it. That's the clip that we watched.
Max, why did you have your pants down so low and stand up?
Because I couldn't think of a good comeback.
Would you say you were trying to get a reaction?
No, that's because my back hurts, and my physical therapist has told me to not sit for extended periods of time.
Or stand without your pants properly pulled up?
No, actually, she said they should be pulled down. That's why I did that.
Gotcha.
So it's not like there was.
It wasn't
complete
about
nothing,
me.
whatever.
So
There was
specifically,
weird vibes that they felt.
so specifically, like what I said was,
I'm mixing up the two instances. I think that's my issue.
So when it happened with me and Chud Logic, I really didn't think too much about it. Chud Logic said something like, "Yo, dude, we can see your bulge" or whatever, and then he sat back down and it was like, whatever, continue with our horrible argument. And then Cherry had an argument with MrGirl yesterday where it went back and forth, and then MrGirl started comparing her to me, saying, "You're just like Stardust, you're incapable of having this conversation. You're siding with Stardust because you're a sexist," all of these different things. And at some point in their conversation, I guess, he covered his screen and something similar happened where he stood up and she saw, like, I think she said she saw pubic hair or a bulge.
We all
or
kind of
something.
agree that, like, the clip at least that we just saw, there's no pubic hair there, unless he's
He
got
said
like
it
a
was
pubic
blurred.
rat tail.
I agree.
Okay, 'cause
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
way far away from pubic hair.
Yeah,
and
no,
I haven't seen the other clip.
I definitely I mistook that. I just saw a bulge, and so, but and that might not even be that big of a deal.
But that's just kind of how guys' sweatpants work, right? Like that's what. Yeah.
That's why I was going to ask if you got a guy to give a second opinion on it, because I feel like a lot of dudes would just be like, "And
yeah." So
to
the
that- to
person,
that specific-
so the persons who, finally today gave me like the last word were, well, no, I had males weighing in throughout this. Like majority of my, I'm trying to get some more female audience, but like majority of my
Right.
group is male. But anyways,
Wait, hold on. So basically, what happened? So this happened. Nobody thought it was a big deal at the time. Cherry had a conversation with MrGirl where it was discussed that you saw, where he
No,
explains the chronic
No.
back pain thing.
no,
No.
that's
That was
not what
before you.
happened.
I'm talking about before the tweet. Like I'm just saying
No.
all the. I'm
No,
just listing things that happened before you tweeted.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's so what happened.
Totally different. Yeah.
Completely different. What happened on the stream with Cherry and MrGirl is that he stood up in a similar way on her stream, and then later on, when she and I were talking, she brought up, yeah, this really weird thing happened where he like stood up and I saw like his bulge, and I think she said she saw his pubic hairs. Sorry. And
But
then
before you said that conversation we just heard from the clip where he's explaining why he like stood up that way and giving the context of his back pain and stuff, you said that was before the tweet.
No.
yes.
Wait.
Wait.
was-
What?
The conversation that happened like the same day. The conversation, right? She went over it like right after.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be the
Last night.
same day, but was the information
yeah.
presented to Stardust that he had chronic back pain before or after she made the tweet?
So I had the context of the of like what happened in the clip. But again, like with everything, with the context of the entirety of the conversation, to us it just looked like is
I get it. I'm
giant-
just asking for
yeah.
like a yes or no because I'm trying to just establish how
Yeah,
many
no,
boundaries
so
we went through. So you, wait, so you
so
had the context that he had the back pain. You had
from
the
that clip, from that clip,
interaction
yeah.
with you had the interaction with Cherry where you both discussed it on stream. You sent this tweet out to multiple people to check it ahead of time, and it still came out. Like
Yeah.
all these checks and bounds were in there beforehand.
Nicholas, I'm with you.
So
No
the
worries.
issue I'm having is like earlier in this conversation with Ahrelevant, you're talking as if like, well, if that stuff with Max's back pain is true, implying that you don't believe him now, and like,
No, I
well,
believe
if
him
he
now.
needed to stand up, but I don't think you believed him 25 minutes ago.
I mean,
No,
Wait,
I
Ahrelevant, am I going
retracted-
crazy here?
All right, so
no,
hold on.
did she ever say that she doesn't believe his back pain, that he has back pain in general?
No, the back, like, that's why he stood up. So you're saying you don't believe that that was.
in the
I mean, I
moment-
think that he can.
Okay, wait.
let's have Stardust, Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's dark.
But
Okay, so I think he could have stood up for the back pain for sure. But I also think that it's a possibility. Like, I don't know. I've never heard of somebody's pants having to be down for something like that. But with my clip, I could very well believe that that was a result of his back pain, even though it wasn't said. But then
So
with
Wait, I
yeah.
feel so
Can we-
fucking gaslit right now. I feel like we're getting different answers to the
No,
same
no, I'm not
questions in
trying
real
to-
time.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry. What is the confusion over? So I can clarify.
All right, so just to clarify,
Yeah.
you don't currently believe 100% Max's excuse for why he stood up in that in that context.
I think I believe that he has back pain. I just don't know if in that scenario if that was him still fucking with us or if it was because of the back pain. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole point that I've been trying to make, but as we go in and out of these like tangents, is that I don't think, again, I'm reiterating this. I don't think your position now is literally any different than your position yesterday. So I think yesterday you had access to the exact same information you have now, and I think that you don't think MrGirl is any more or less likely of like in that moment doing that as like a form of what was the word that you used?
provocation.
Provocation. Yeah, I don't think you shifted your position at all.
No. When I tweeted it out, I definitely felt like it was provocation, I think. And then about like an hour or two later, I was like, maybe it's not provocation, but I don't know. So at this point,
So now you're just undecided.
Yeah, so I've switched from oh, he was provoking us because I felt like he was provoking us in every other part of those conversations. To okay, maybe he wasn't provoking us. Maybe I was just reading too much into that.
So do you like heavily disagree with his position where he thinks it's more or less like a Me Too?
I see why he thinks it's that. And again, I would reiterate, I'm not somebody who is about doing Me Too's or anything like that. I myself have been like skeptical of every Me Too that I see, and I don't even consider something like that like I don't like people are saying like sexual harassment. I don't consider that sexual harassment.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
do you believe that perhaps one of the most reasonable interpretations of what you tweeted is that it was sexual harassment?
I can see 100% that the way that I tweeted it now implied that, and I shouldn't have tweeted it like that.
What can you kind of explain to me why it isn't sexual harassment if your initial like thesis statement is correct? Because like I don't know, I feel like if you're in a I think if you're in a conversation and a guy gets up to like provoke you by showing you his bulge, I think that would absolutely be sexual harassment.
I have a really high bar for and I have like a very, very high bar for what sexual harassment is in my head. I can still think that it's like weird and it's like weird behavior. But for me, like sexual harassment is hard for me to take unless somebody's badgering you online over and over again. then I can consider that maybe sexual harassment. But like online stuff, it's hard for me to kind of view as sexual harassment, and even in-person stuff, um, like talking about somebody groping somebody seems like such a commonplace thing to me that even that is just more like a misconduct thing than a harassment thing. So I've got like a pretty high
Oh,
bar.
Yeah.
wait. Whoa. Okay. All right, that's not super relevant, so let's zoom past that one. I guess like what kind of leads you to have this kind of stance on sexual harassment? I promise this is relevant.
Okay, I'm going to fucking hate this. I'm gonna fucking hate this. Because um already I feel like it's been used against me in this whole confrontation with MrGirl, where he was saying I'm too incapable of having a conversation about consent or whatever, which I really don't think I am. But like, um, my bar of what sexual harassment and sexual assault is very high, because my instance with it, my experience with it was um incredibly terrible. And it's kind of hard for me to see um like I've gotten better over time seeing the graduated levels of what people could consider sexual harassment, but it's taken me a while to kind of come there, you know? So I have a very like high bar for those kinds of things. And even like on a daily basis, women go to the bar and get groped. Like, is that sexual harassment? Maybe.
I would argue
I don't
yes.
know. But
I
like,
would argue that's sexual assault.
Yeah, I would say that's
yeah, but
sexual
in
assault.
Who cares?
but here's
Is
the
that
thing,
that's
in
the
my
thing?
head, in my
It's
life,
just normal.
in my head,
It's
in my
just
life, it's
normal.
normal. Yeah. It's just
Oh
like
god.
big fucking
problem.
All
whoop,
right, guys. All right, self-preservation here. Move on.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious though. That's why you get this. This is why we get grilled about like every little detail, and that's why I wouldn't have. I
Sure,
wouldn't have tweeted this because it's distracting, and then like everyone gets to disprove this one time that you said something that wasn't like 100%. But that's not the point. The whole point. We're not. No one's like shocked and horrified by seeing his like underbelly
yeah.
or
How many
whatever.
penises have I seen in my life, guys? You think I'm
How many?
worried
Yeah,
about seeing his
okay.
bulge? I just think
unwelcome
that his
penis.
bulge. Yeah, just wait a second. Let me explain here, okay? How many
Yes.
penises do you think I've seen in my life? Unrequested penises that I've seen in my life. How many times do you think I've been groped and I just thought, okay, well, here's another night, you know?
Yep.
I don't think that, I'm sorry, but seeing somebody's bulge is not a huge
Sorry,
deal
I
to
get
me.
that this
Wait a
is
minute,
your
let me finish. Let me finish, okay? All right, then I promise I'll let you talk. Okay, seeing a bulge to me is not a huge deal, except within the context that I am having several conversations that are very heated, where my boundaries are being told to me are manipulative or a power play. So with the context of that, I wouldn't care about a bulge most of the time, but with the context of that, and then Cherry having her interaction and her interaction where she's trying to argue about the same things, and he's also telling her, you're just like Stardust, you're incapable of having this conversation. And then we both see a bulge, and then she's like, I thought this is weird that I saw a bulge, or I saw pubic hair or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like I saw something similar. But like, to me, it just looked like provocation, you know? So
Right.
Okay, so again, big issue. Like, I understand that you have a different definition to other people. I understand it's a product of your personal experiences. I'm not knocking you for that at all whatsoever. But I'm just pointing out that you cover like trending topics. You've done like a ton of this like stuff on the Depp trial. Like,
Yeah.
I don't just believe that your brain shut off for a second and you're like,
no,
I don't think
because
people are
I
going to
think
take this like a sexual harassment allegation.
Well, no, because I think if you want to talk about the Depp trial, like I will still assert that like the story of getting raped by a bottle seemed pretty consistent. So like, that's
No,
kind of
I know, but like you
Yeah.
cover trending topics, so you're like you are exposed to other people's interpretations of sexual
Yeah,
harassment.
and again,
Even more
I've
mainstream, more like I would say
and
popular
sure,
opinions.
I would say that. Generally, when I cover stuff like that, I'll like cover feminist issues and stuff, and I'll cover like current issues. And I've gotten better over time at empathizing and
Again, I'm not
seeing
saying that you lack empathy. I'm saying that you're not oblivious to it. I know that you know that these things
Wait,
are like
wait.
considered.
Let
Yeah.
me. I've gotten better over time over like understanding the graduated levels of this. But for me, seeing a bulge to me is not like
Okay.
sexual harassment.
And Nicholas, interrupt me if this is not what you're saying, but this is more of my point, and I think it was what Nicholas was getting at was, or it is very reasonable to believe that and you knew how this would be interpreted when you tweeted it out. So
I
why?
should have known. I should have known.
So I think what Nicholas's point is that you have too much experience to have not known quite reasonably. Like
That's fair. That's a fair criticism. Yeah, that's a fair criticism. I should have known better. I should have known how this would have been interpreted. But I think, yeah, just in the moment with other people having the same context as me, I just didn't really think about it like that. You know, I should have 100%. Yeah.
So what do you think would have been the right way to handle this, Nick?
Not making the tweet.
Yeah. Okay, so very, very fair. I should have DM'd him. I wasn't on speaking terms with him. I actually like blocked him on Discord. I definitely should have waited before tweeting that, and that is 100% on me. And if I were going to tweet something like that, I should be very careful about it. I just, in the moment, I just didn't think it through the whole way. That's pretty much it. So,
Can I ask what you think the implications of this is? Like it's serious because people will look at that and think, oh, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
Yeah, I think
Is that what it
MrGirl
is?
was having like a hard day because I think he was getting demolished. And no offense, MrGirl, I don't think he did very well in that conversation with Stardust or after. And I think that to cap it all off in a moment where Stardust is basically winning on all fronts, with that could have been really detrimental to him if that went a different way, if people didn't immediately pick up on it. I've seen plenty of situations. Again, I'm just giving some advice here. Dylan Burns, friend of mine, right? Fucked up a story. Some of it maybe on emotion, some of it based on impulse, right? If it wasn't for Destiny, Prime Kai's is like a pedophile. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I
Yeah, no,
mean,
agree.
he's not a pedophile. No one called him a pedophile.
Wait, what's
No,
Or rapist, I'm
but
sorry.
no, but that's a fair.
Wait a minute, my bad. Yeah, I'm
Wait,
mixing
wait.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. He
it's
did
fair.
actually harass someone,
It
though.
is. It is fair enough. It is.
They all
fair-
agreed
that's- It's
about
a
that,
very
right?
fair.
Yeah, sexual harasser. Sorry, I'm mixing
Yeah.
up fucking 80 different stories. My bad. But you get
No,
my
I mean,
point.
that's
Wow,
that's
Nick,
a-
just not
agreed.
confirming the stories, Nick. Wow, really calling him a pet? No, I'm just kidding.
Sexual harasser. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. If I were going to tweet anything out, I should have just left it in regards to our conversation and the way that I was feeling about it. I just looked at that interaction as, again, he's trying to fuck with me. And yeah, I shouldn't have tweeted it out. So, yeah.
okay?
I still
would
think
just
he's an
say that-
asshole, though. I still think he's an asshole.
Sure.
And I
sure.
still
I
think
just,
that,
Go ahead. My bad.
I still think that everything in these two conversations have really changed my views on him. But yeah, I 100% should not have tweeted that, and I tried to redact that tweet as soon as I realized that it was a bad idea. I don't know how long it took me, maybe an hour, 2 hours. And I tried to apologize multiple times for it. And I know that no apology will ever be enough. I think my reaction to it, to Cherry talking about it, I think my reaction, like in my feelings, was warranted. But I don't think I should have tweeted that 100%. I should not have tweeted that. And I don't think, Jesus Christ, Aiko. I don't think that MrGirl is a sexual harasser or a flasher. I definitely don't think he's a pedophile, just to reiterate. I just think he's an asshole, and I think him trying to tell me that my sexual boundaries are manipulative is manipulative. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I think that you did
Yeah.
pretty well in that conversation. I don't think you look super good going into all of this.
Yeah.
If I could give just a little bit of advice,
Mhm.
it feels like, at least to me, that you have like legitimate grievances with MrGirl. I understand. I'm sympathetic to the fact that you've defended this person. When he got banned, you posted like a 12-tweet thread about him. You've been a good friend to him, and he kind of fucked you over in a way here. I feel like your judgment's kind of compromised on this issue when it comes to this tweet, and then his kind of response to this tweet. I stand by that. I don't really think that your opinion is super changed much from yesterday. My takeaway from this is that you got pushed back and deleted the tweet. If that's not the case, that's totally fine. But I think that again, with the situation that Dylan was in, that was a salvageable situation, even though it was probably worse than the one you're in right now. And I recommend kind of just taking the L here and walking away. They're not going to remember it in 2 weeks anyway. I think it's pretty obvious the back pain stuff is legit. And I hope that you can see that in a couple of days when you reflect on this whole thing. Well, I'll let you go. It was nice chatting with everybody. Always good to speak to you, Aiko. I think this is the first time we chatted Ahrelevant. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And have a good night, Star.
Yeah, have a good one.
Hello?
Oh, wait.
Oh, hey.
What up, Nick?
Okay. With peace and love, you guys either have to stop talking about this or you have to stop letting Aiko talk about this.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out because it just sounds like Stardust is trying to like engage positively with the conversation, but like Aiko just sounds like she's coping. I don't know.
What do you want to do? I'll peace out if Nick wants to keep you company. I know I'm distracting.
Yeah, I'll just clarify again. Even if I thought that he was fucking with me, I still shouldn't have tweeted. So even if yeah, you know, so
I think that's a good point to reach.
yeah.